You would think, right, that we'd win a game where Will McDonald has one of the best plays I've seen a Jet player make in a long, long time. That's a play, Jonathan Vilma said it. That's a play that maybe 4 to 5 guys in the league can make.
The play was so athletic and so freakish when you watch it from start to finish. And then you see Aaron Glenn dancing on the sideline, making moves. And you're like, holy crap, did the Jets just get some swagger here? And they can't make the stop at the end, man.
And the black cloud just stays over this team, man. And it'll never go away until something changes upstairs, I'm starting to think. Because again and again and again, they find ways to just beat themselves. They find ways to embarrass themselves. They are being called out by former players on their team. Jonathan Vilma called them. They look like a high school football team out there. Jonathan Vilma said about the Jets. And it was another Sunday of embarrassments for the Jets, for the fans, people that went out to Tampa to watch this game. Apparently, I was speaking to some people there that there was a lot of Jet fans there. The Jets can never seem to figure it out. They can never seem to get over the hump.
I think the fourth quarter obviously is when it turned up. Tyrod Taylor, I'll give him credit in the fourth quarter start, takes them down the field, that drive to put them in within at least 2-score game. I thought he was decisive. He made quick decisions. Frankie, did we think this team was going to be 0-3 to start the season when you looked at the schedule? I didn't. I really didn't. I know a lot of other people were like, it's a pretty tough schedule to start. They go 0-3. It's not an easy schedule to start. The schedule lightens up big time towards the end. But a loss is a loss. They find another way to lose a football game.
The offensive line really had it coming to them today, man. I'm telling you, Todd Bowles had a very, very good game plan saying they got a young offensive line. These are young kids. Olu's young.
And they pressured them.
Yeah,
they put pressure on him.
Yeah, John Simpson's not really ready, or he's not who maybe we thought he was. They got Tittman, who's young out there, and Myers, and they go, you know what? Let's just pressure the hell out of these guys. And even the backs, man. The backs had some issues today picking up those blitzes because I saw Braylon Allen a few times, not really sure where to go. Brees also. So we weren't doing a really good job of picking up that blitz.
We saw tons of mental mistakes, which is what Jonathan Vilma was hammering them for, why they look like a high school team. It's why Tony Romo and Jim Nantz were killing them last week on the broadcast, where it's like the Jets are just killing themselves. They're beating themselves. And that's exactly what happened again today. The pick six ends up actually being, Frankie, the difference in this game.
Of course.
He doesn't throw that pick six. The Jets probably win this football game. I'm not going to lie to you right now. Like, they finally got something going in the fourth quarter offensively, and like I would have loved to have seen another drive from them, hopefully to keep it going. But that pick six turned out to be crucial right before the half, and it swung all the momentum in the game. And you pretty much tell the Bucs, like, yeah, this is your game. Like, they had 2 illegal formation penalties for this game. They had an illegal 2 men in the landing zone on a kickoff return. Luckily, the Buccaneers declined that penalty on what was a decent return from the Jets. And then, like, how many times are we going to see the Jets defense just mentally not understand the situation and over pursuing on a swing pass over to the right? I think it was Bucky Irving jukes out the entire defense. The mental mistakes are crucial, and the Jets keep doing it to themselves. And that's why they're losing these football games.
This is an amateur hour coaching staff. They are very new. Aaron Glenn's never been a head coach. Tanner Engstrand's never been an offensive coordinator. And Steve Wilkes looks like he's ready to retire. Steve Wilkes, retire. You've been in the league long enough. Please retire. Thank you for your services. You had a great NFL career. Tanner Engstrand, you don't got the quarterback, my guy. You got to wait for one. And Aaron Glenn, you got a lot of work to do because, like what you're saying, Ryan, all those mental mistakes, at the end of the day, it falls on the head coach and the other coaches there to put guys in the best position to make plays. This was a sloppy game, and we're not going to win sloppy games. Let's just call a spade a spade. We don't have enough big play players. 3 games now. 3 games without a turnover. 3.
Yeah, remember the first half, Baker fumbled the ball on the sack, and then no one jumps on the ball. I hold Aaron Glenn to a higher standard, right? Because he asked us to when he said, we're the New York Jets, we're freaking built for this, and that I'm going to bring pride back into this organization. But it's been 3 straight weeks, Frankie, of week 1 looked great, in my opinion. Looked great. The defense didn't pick up its end, but it looked like a game they should have won, and they really should have won that game. But weeks 2 and 3, it's just been sloppy. It's been ugly. And it's just been a lot of mental mistakes that I think as a team from coaching staff and players, it's not good. Aaron Glenn, after the game, said the one thing I don't do, which I understand New York media tries to do, is the negative parts of it. I'm not going to be that way. I'm going to let you guys deal with that. We're going to look at the things we did well.
Folks, really? You're going to look at the things you did? What did you do well? Will McDonald did well today? Garrett Wilson, all right.
Garrett Wilson did well today.
Quentin Williams. Tyrod had a good
got a solid day. Tyrod had a good fourth quarter. And look, that's what I'm trying to say. We can't be completely negative here, Frankie. I know it's a loss and it looked bad again for most of the part, but I really do think the Jets did turn it around in the fourth quarter. He thinks that the media is his enemy, and the more comments he makes like this, in my opinion, it's just going to push the media even further away from you.
He came into this saying that I'm going to fight whomever I need to, and I'll do it with my back against the wall. I don't think there's any backing down from that guy.
But I
think he'll do this if they lose 8 games in a row. I don't agree with it either, right? But you can see it. You can see how fiery he is. You saw in that Will McDonald play.
Jets fans are desperate, man. And like this is 15 years now of us looking like absolute dog crap. And this team just continues to find new ways to lose games like you talked about today. And they just have this cloud over them, this dark cloud. We know it. You don't have to point it out to us as a head coach. But I don't think you're going about this the right way by alienating the fans and the media and saying, we're going to look at the positives, not the negative states. Like, dude, there's a part of you that can be honest with us and say, am I happy about how many mental mistakes we had today? Absolutely not. Like that was the reason we probably lost this football game again today. And we have to clean that up. But I also want to look at the positives that I thought defensively, we actually made some pretty good adjustments and we stopped Baker and the Bucs offense in the second half. And I thought offensively, we finally picked things up in that fourth quarter.
This offseason, we did a few things that I didn't agree with. And I said, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I disagree. It's okay. When you have a list of it's okay, 10 things, and I'll just roll off a few. You hired a defensive head coach. You need to score points. You got talent on defense. Should have hired an offensive head coach. You brought in a guy, Darren Muji, that really nobody knew who he was. You needed someone with more experience to put together a roster. You brought in Justin Fields, who's on his third team that no one really had faith in, and you're trying to do a Justin Fields experiment with a defensive head coach. Doesn't really make sense. On top of that, you don't get a wide receiver 2 or 3 or 4 really for that fact that can really help out this quarterback. Something else doesn't make sense. You don't draft a quarterback. Like, out of all the teams that draft quarterbacks, all the teams that drafted a quarterback this year, all of them, we, the Jets, don't need to draft a quarterback. Sorry, it's okay. We should have drafted a quarterback in the first round, second round, wherever you want to draft one. We should have. We paid Sauce Gardner a year earlier than he could have gotten paid, and we paid Garrett Wilson. Now, I understand paying them for cap reasons, but you didn't need to pay them, and you don't know where this team's going. These guys aren't helping us win games. Paying both of those guys this early, hold on, let me just finish, did not make sense to me. One out of the two did, not both. Breece Hall's on this roster right now. Are we going to keep Breece or not? Because Breece Hall's a free agent next year. Are they going to move him? I would think about that. Keeping him on the roster may not also make sense. Steve Wilks, an old head, with a first-time offensive coordinator. Are you running a young operation or an old operation? Who are we developing on offense? Tanner Engstrand's out there. Who? You're developing Mason Taylor? That was a pick also I wasn't too keen on because of his inability to get yak. I think he's good at catching the ball. I think he finds soft zones, but he cannot get yak, and we saw it today. He just can't move the chains himself. He's great at point of attack. Another move that didn't make sense. We draft a D-end and a linebacker. These guys out of Miami, they can't even play.
Hang on. I'm going to stop you here.
I'm saying.
Now you're killing everything.
It is an off season of doesn't make sense. And we're here.
I don't agree with that whatsoever. And I'm not getting into the offseason. I think that's a ridiculous take by you right now because you can't kill them for signing Sauce and Garrett Wilson. Both guys have been their best players, both offensively and defensively. Garrett Wilson had 10 freaking catches. What are you talking about? You just said Garrett Wilson getting an extension in the offseason didn't make sense. And that's a ridiculous take by you.
Both of them.
That's a ridiculous take.
Why? He has another year? Why?
It's a ridiculous take.
We're not
Frankie.
winning. We're not winning games with any of these guys.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not getting into this because this is ridiculous. Let's talk about the football game. The offseason crap. The offseason stuff is not where this show is meant for right now.
You told me in the offseason. Sorry, you guys told me in the offseason. I was told that paying these guys is going to help us win football games. That's what I was told.
No, I said this is how you build a football team.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying in general. That was what I was told. All right. Yeah, we're building a hell of a team.
They're not a good football team. We're going over this right now. They don't play football well. They're not coached well right now. They're not schemed up well. So don't blame the players completely. That's what you're doing right now. And I think that's a ridiculous thing to say right now. There are a lot of players that could play better, yes, but I also think that right now this Jets team is just devoid of talent. They played Michael Clemens so much these first 3 weeks because they didn't address the defensive end position depth-wise. Quinnen Williams came off a huge injury this training camp. I think they've tried to play it down, the calf injury that he really had. So he's trying to work his way back. I thought today he actually really had an impact. So you want to talk about positives? That's there. Quincy Williams got banged up in the third quarter. That really affected them the rest of the game. Sauce Gardner getting banged up hurted them the rest of the game. You need your players on the field, and they also need to make plays when they're on the field too. No doubt about it. But you cannot deny the fact that the Jets went about their offseason mostly right in the right ways they went about it. You disagree because you just want them to draft freaking what's-his-face from Ohio State, who's not going to come in here and win football games, Frankie. That's a ridiculous thought.
It's not the only thing, Ryan. I just don't understand if you're trying to build a team that wants to run a Tanner Engstrand kind of offense and something new and creative and different. You don't have Justin Fields and not
new
a wide
and different
receiver
creative. How about the fact that Tanner Engstrand today kept lining up his receivers to the left side of the offense and letting Todd Bowles call blitzes on third down because he's got two tight receivers or tight ends close to the line of scrimmage who are lined up in man, and then he's running literal zone blitzes and man blitzes off the edge, and the Jets couldn't pick up a blitz. How about that offensively, scheme-wise? Doesn't make sense. So criticize them for on the field what they're doing wrong. Instead, you're criticizing decisions that are so far in the past that we can't revisit right now. Right now, you have to talk about on the field. We're 3 weeks into the season. They still have a lot of games left. And right now, the Jets have to figure out how they're mentally going to handle this week to week. And I don't appreciate when the head coach is coming on here and telling us that we're being negative. It's working us up into a whole fit tizzy because the on-field product has been absolute dog crap besides week one.